All right, so tonight I want to share the importance of finding your guiding light. My family is my guiding light. You know, they're the people that give me purpose on this journey and strength to persevere no matter what life throws at me. My name is Michael Toscono. I'm the chef and owner of 4 restaurants, 1 golf course, and a new concept coming. You heard it here first. I grew up as the youngest of 3, 2 very impressive older sisters that set a pretty high standard for me. My dad was tough, but simultaneously loving and incredibly supportive. He taught me the importance of generosity and the idea of giving the proverbial shirt off of your back if someone's in need. My mother, our queen, oozes with love and compassion, making sure that we always did our best, but we did that with class and respect for others. As a kid, our mindset was, why participate in an activity if you're not trying to be the best? That spirit was driven by my father, Edward Toscano. He created a fierce competitor inside of me. And at many moments it felt extreme. But little did I know, at a young age, he was shaping my confidence to be able to withstand, any trauma, any circumstances that life would throw my way. Then there was my mother, Blanca. She showed me that being able to love with an open heart and form genuine relationships is one of the single most important characteristics in life. As I became a young man, at the age of 17, I moved across the country to pursue my culinary career as someone with ADD, also known as attention deficit disorder. If I wasn't passionate about a subject, I gave it little to no attention. But if I was interested, I could use that disorder that paralyzed me in excelling in high school, to now use that ADD as a superhero strength. It allowed me to create this obsessive personality that allowed me to dive deep into cooking and educate myself and I continue that to this day. As a young cook, it was my ultimate goal to be accepted by my peers, recognized as a true chef, a chef that, is fluent in classical cuisine, created original derivatives that any native would respect my food and enjoy it. At this point, I had met my future wife, and we took a leap of faith to move to New York City together. We were young, we were kids living in the city, in love, working our butts off, trying to do our best, to be our best. And at the age of 21 in New York City, I became the sous chef of Mario Batali's, who was my mentor of his flagship restaurant, Babbo. An environment that pushed me to my max at times, an environment that felt like a Super Bowl every night. Celebrities, musicians, pro athletes, a room full of guests who made the reservation 3 months in advance. This was the environment I moved to New York City to experience. But also where I thrived, a period of my life where, for the first time, I became creative. Throughout my 3 years at Babbo, I continued to push myself. As a sous chef, I ran the kitchen on Friday and Saturday nights. On Thursday night, I made the decision that I thought it would be fun to start going to the Bronx, an hour away on I forget the train, going uptown. I'd get to the Fulton Fish Market at 2 a.m. I'd be waiting for the boats that were delivering the freshest fish that supplied all of New York City. And I'd walk that 300-yard gigantic, warehouse, picking out my 2 to 3 different fresh ingredients that I couldn't wait to prepare the next day. And so I'd get home at 5 a.m. reeking of fish, and my wife made me change outside because I was disgusting. But I was reeking of fish, and I couldn't wait to wake up and go to work early in the morning again, no matter how late I went to bed, and get to cook those dishes. And at that moment, from being a kid and playing sports, competitive sports, I realized that there's no amount of work that is too much when it comes to making yourself better. Shortly after being known for my new creations, I chose to dedicate my days off while still working at Babbo to a whole animal butcher shop where I would work those days for free, learning the trade, learning the craft. And shortly after, I was chosen to be the executive chef of the first eatery in the United States. You know, aside from getting that 50,000 square foot Italian food mecca open, I was the executive chef of Monzo, the single fine dining restaurant in the whole complex at the age of 25. I soon was nominated for a James Beard Award, but more importantly, I got to work with my wife, who was the GM of Monzo, and soon after, we had our first of my two beloved children, Julian Coltrane. At this moment, I had the free reign to create an entire menu of a dream restaurant, educate and build a team that spoke my culinary language and helped me create my own cuisine for the first time. This was the start of me moving on to open my own restaurant, and soon after taking over my partner's two other restaurants. I was 28, I had 3 restaurants, 2 kids, and a beautiful, very talented wife. I was living my dream, creating dishes that my team had never created before, creating a cuisine that I'd become known for. But as an adult understands, life started happening. You know, we had our beautiful daughter, Marley Juliet. My wife was at home all day taking care of our kids, and I was working around the clock to try to make my 3 restaurants special. Shortly after, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, a disease that, through my extended family, making me genetically predisposed. So it was a moment that required me to know what was my guiding light. It was too late to turn around at that moment, and I couldn't have felt any more vulnerable. I knew I was in the right place at the right moment, because I was prepared and ready to fight for what I loved. Next, I sold my restaurants and moved here to Charleston, South Carolina to start a new life with my family. My wife, Caitlin, and I became business partners. We chose new opportunities to collaborate together again. It was 2016 when my life became real. I feel that it wasn't until the last 8 years that really allowed me to mature into the person that I am today. The common denominator that never changed, I started by becoming a chef and working as hard as I could, first to make my parents and my sisters proud, but then feeling becoming even more powerful as my immediate family grew and I had my little ones looking up to me. There was a time where it was impossible for me to be happy for someone. I was filled with jealousy. As a young chef, I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. Tenured time, consistency, and patience is a powerful method for growth. It develops not only knowledge, but confidence and the ability to be yourself. When I achieved the ability to be myself, I became free. I became grateful. I could spread genuine love and gratitude. I'm able to create and show creativity and express my ideas through collaboration. I'm 39 years old. I'm type 2 diabetic. I have ADD. I graduated high school with a 2.6 GPA, and I'm husky no matter how hard I try being skinny. You know, and with the tools that I developed, it allows me to continue, have the passion, the burning desire to create and make a difference. And I encourage you to find your guiding light and never stop creating. Thank you.